Lines, Tim Doyle, and let's start with the defending champs, Timmy. The Bucks 6-1 right now, 5th in the East.
Trust the Bucks. Get if you want to bet the Bucks. They're a completely different team when they flip the switch and they have everybody healthy. I mean, it's pretty simple. You know, when Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton are out there, I mean, Middleton was an all-star. You couple him with, obviously, Giannis. This is just a completely different squad. There's synergy. There's unity. The biggest thing is there's urgency. Like, they actually play hard when these three guys are out there. And when I watched Giannis, and I was in Cleveland for the All-Star game, there's something wrong with the guy, Chris. He was going hard in the skills competition. That's why you love him. And even though he's not a capable jump shooter, even though he struggles from three, he was playing hard in the All-Star game. He blocked the dunk. He fouled a guy on a jump shot where nobody was guarding anybody. And he was playing at a crazy pace that it rubs off on everybody. So everybody's forced to play hard. Everybody's forced to be unselfish. I think that if you really had to give the defensive player of the year, it's him. If you needed one guy to make one stop on one player, you wouldn't choose Rudy Gobert, for crying out loud. He can't guard guys in the perimeter. Giannis can guard guys in the post. He can guard guys out on the perimeter. And he has that ability to flip the switch. So the trust level is very high with Milwaukee when they have all their pieces together.
They beat the Suns in the NBA Finals last season in 6 games. The Suns right now are the favorites because they have a 6.5 game lead on the Warriors in the Western Conference. They're plus 450 to win it, but Chris Paul is out maybe for the next 2 months.
You know, here's my concern with the Suns. Do you remember when we played Little League Baseball and there was like the one guy who was like 5'10" that had the mustache that you were like, whoa, we can't get, like, you would walk him with the bases loaded? Like, are the Suns peaking too early? Like, and that guy, whatever his name was, we all know who he was playing Little League, and it could have been any sport. It could have been anybody. Like, they've matured extremely fast. If the season ended today and Chris Paul was healthy, they are the best team in the NBA. Aha. It doesn't end today, and he's not healthy. I think the other teams that are out there have a bigger upside than the Phoenix Suns. The Suns are who they are, and they've been outstanding over the last 19 games. I mean, that's sick to think that they've gone 18-1, and it's been really surgical, the process that they go out there and beat teams. But I bet this guy last year to win the MVP. He's not the best player in the NBA, but his value changed that organization. I think he made Devin Booker more professional, a better two-way player. And DeAndre Ayton secretly hates Chris Paul, but he loves him because he has pushed DeAndre Ayton to the brink of being an all-star. He gets the most out of his big man. He has gotten him better each and every game. Remember, this was an organization that had all this talent that wasn't going anywhere, and you bring Chris Paul in at the end of his career, and he's completely changed around this team. I just don't think they have an upside. I think what you see is what you're going to get. And the trust factor, like the Bucks, extremely high with the Suns. But there are some other teams out there, Chris, that intrigue me a little bit more.
Would that team be the Golden State Warriors? The odds are very similar, from plus 450 to the Suns, plus 475 to the Warriors.
You know, we watched the Warriors change this year because they've gone through basically 2 different teams, right? The season started off, Steph Curry was going to win the MVPs, playing alongside Draymond Green, who at one time was your favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year. And then Draymond gets hurt. And then Clay comes back. And then Steph's numbers drop, and now he's out of the MVP race. And now Steph and Clay are dancing together. Well, now there's going to be another adjustment for the Warriors in the second half of the season. Now they get back Draymond Green. Now they add in, hello, you remember James Wiseman? He was the former #1 pick. And doesn't he seem to fit in perfectly with just, hey, all you have to do is dunk and rebound and set screens? Like, pretty easy role for any big man to kind of wrap their hand around. So when Draymond Green's on the floor, this is arguably the best defensive team in the NBA. When he's not, you can just look at the graphics. They are completely different. These numbers are with Draymond Green in the lineup. When he's not out there, yeah, you could argue Giannis or Draymond Green the best defensive player in the NBA because they can guard so many different positions out on the floor. But I think the upside for Golden State, of all the teams in the NBA, with all the trades and all the additions, nobody in the NBA has a greater upside in the second half because they get back an all-star Draymond Green and they get back a #1 pick. You add in a guy like Kuminga, who's just scary, dripping with talent. I think the Warriors, of all the teams in the NBA, have the biggest intrigue.
Okay, how about some teams with maybe a little bit better value, at least longer odds over in the Eastern Conference? Philadelphia 76ers. They made that trade for James Harden. They're going for it. Our experts don't seem to think it's going to work. How about you?
Yeah, I do think that this is going to work this year. You know, I got a chance to see Embiid live and in person less than 3 weeks ago. The talent is just unbelievable. You know, he got tired in the All-Star game down the stretch as they were going to him. But we all thought Philly, Chris, was going to make a move, whether it was Damian Lillard or CJ McCollum. I actually think they got someone better than both of those guys. You know, you bring in James Harden, you're going to go, oh, well, James Harden's not the same James Harden as he used to be. Oh, really? Because if you watched on Christmas Day against the Lakers, he had pretty good numbers. And go through a 4-game stretch as you see Harden being welcomed in Philadelphia. When Harden is motivated, this was a 4-game stretch between December 25th and December 30th. I mean, all I can think about is the Russell Crowe gif. Are you not entertained? So, like, when he is focused, when he is motivated. Last year, he was in a fat suit down in Houston. He takes an airplane to Brooklyn. He loses all this weight. And last year, you can't remember this, but he was in the MVP conversation with the Nets. You know, and if he doesn't get hurt in that series against the Bucks, who knows what happens? So here's my one thought. I wouldn't bet Embiid to win the MVP. He's the favorite right now because they're going to have to learn how to dance together. Harden and Embiid. That's not all of a sudden just going to happen overnight. So I think Embiid's value as far as winning the MVP, it is going to be affected because these guys are going to have to figure out their roles. But it's very similar to Hakeem Olajuwon, second NBA championship. He brought in his old college teammate, Clyde Drexler. They got over the hump. I think Harden and Embiid put the 76ers over the hump. And finally, there is something to smile about in Philadelphia.
Wow. So you think they're going to get the better end of this Sixers-Nets trade. How about the Nets at 6-1? You only have about 30 seconds, Tim.
It's been a disaster. If Kevin Durant doesn't stay on that line, maybe they beat the Bucks and win an NBA championship. You know what it is that bothers me about the Nets? They're the opposite of Mary J. Blige. They're all about the drama. You remember what she was saying to Chris? She said, no more drama at the Super Bowl. They're all about the drama. I'm not concerned about the talent. I'm worried about the drama on this squad. So too many distractions, too many what ifs, no value there. The Nets, tell you this right now, if you bet the Nets, I'll give you half your money back and just kick you in the shin because there's no way they're winning an NBA championship. I repeat, no way.
So you're picking the Sixers then at plus 650. Is that who you're going with?
76ers this year. Embiid and Harden, stay healthy.
All right. Long shot, Sixers. I mean, not super long, but they're not one of the top 3 favorites right now. Bucks, Suns, Warriors all have better odds. So do the Nets than the Sixers at plus 650. The Sixers right now with the 5th best odds to win the NBA championship and the 3rd best in their own conference. That was Tim Doyle giving us his picks and breaking down the odds for us here on HQ.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.